Hi everyone. Okay, so I am in a new location. Much better lighting, so that's wonderful. Okay. Soft Girl reboot just kind of fell out of my hands. Okay, somebody is trying to break the ice with you. That is the main message for today. Somebody is trying to figure out how to break the ice, but they are completely stuck in their own way, stuck in their own head. They could be, well, I've been getting bed rotting. Can you even see? I've been getting bed rotting all day, every day for the past 2 days. So someone is, and then the first card out was the Hanged Man over here. So somebody is just kind of laying in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how to contact you. If you would even want to hear from them, what they would even say, what would you guys even talk about? Would you even want to hear from them? They don't know. But so you haven't spoken to this person in a while. They could have ghosted you with that bed rotting energy. They could have just they could be completely isolating themselves from the outside world, including you, right? Even if they do care very deeply for you, they could have just completely cut off contact, kind of out of nowhere, leaving you hanging, leaving you on red. Okay, yes, it's just like they've been holding back, and it's not necessarily because of anything that you did. I just feel like they're going through it. They're going through it right now. They've been holding back. They've been stuck in their head. They've been isolating themselves. They've been allowing themselves to be stuck in this energy that they're in. This stagnant energy that they're in. And I'm almost feeling like they created this energy for themselves. Like they could be putting in more effort. They could be reaching out to you. They could not be so lazy. But they are. They're allowing themselves to be stuck in that energy. And we have the Strength card. Twice now I've seen this Strength card. So they are really... If you don't know that your person is struggling right now, they are. Okay. They could be putting on a brave face. You might, when you were in contact with this person, you might have not even known then how much this person was staying strong when they kind of wanted to break down. And now that you're gone, now that they're isolating themselves, now that they've kind of cut off contact with you, they don't have to try anymore, you know? It's hard to show emotion, be vulnerable with somebody, show up for somebody, even if you care very deeply about them, when you're struggling mentally. If this person is going through a period of depression, they could have that physical fatigue that depression brings, where it's just hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's hard to do anything. And you might not have known how bad it was. And this person could have gotten, when you two were together, this person could have been putting on a brave face, but you could have also lit something up within this person that kind of pulled them out of their self-isolation, their depression, right? Even for a short period. You could have lit something up within this person that kind of brought them out of their house. brought them out of their comfort zone, made them feel good for, a short period. And so you might have really not known what this person was going through. But they're hanging in there, right? They're hanging in there. They're struggling a bit right now, but they're trying to stay strong. They're trying to keep going. Like they're not giving up. They're just having, it's just a very slow, stagnant energy that they're finding it increasingly difficult to pull themselves out of. So if you haven't heard from somebody in a while, it's not because they don't like you, okay? It's not because they don't like you, because they're showing up as falling in love before the first date. This is a very romantic Page of Cups energy. They do have feelings towards you. They are, if they could show up for you in the ways that they wanted, they would. But they mentally, physically can't right now. And it's not because they don't have feelings towards you, because they do, But again, you might have, I have a feeling that you could have known that this person was struggling, but it's definitely gotten worse now that you haven't been around them, talking to them, since they've shut you out. They've just been in this, this Nine of Swords, like, paralyzed, like, anxiety-ridden mental prison that they've either created for themselves or are allowing themselves to stay within, because I'm seeing that this person could definitely take the steps to pull themselves out of this. They definitely have the ability to. This isn't like a rock bottom type of energy. This is they are stuck in their own ways and not fully ready to I don't want to say better themselves, but just they're very comfortable in this energy that they're in. Sometimes it's easier to stay miserable than to go off and try to find happiness, right? Sometimes you become so comfortable in this stuck, stagnant, bedridden energy that you're in, and sometimes it's just easier. I'm almost feeling this, like, I can't talk. I lost my train of thought. It just almost feels like this person needs to rest a lot. If this person was very burnt out, just got out of something really difficult, or even, I want to say, like, traumatic. If there was like a traumatic event, or if this person had recently gotten out of like a long-term relationship, there's just like a sadness that's kind of lingering over this person's head. And they just need to sit in it for a while. It's like they need to process everything that they've been through, and they're trying to figure out what to do next. Not only in regards to you, but just in regards to like what they're doing with their life. There's a lot of choices that need to be made, and with choices becomes a lot of anxiety, right? A lot of feelings of being overwhelmed, right? Avoiding the question. This person is just like, hands are like, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk. There's too much going on. It's like the world is too loud right now for your person. The world is too loud. There's too many decisions that need to be made. There's too much responsibility. It's like, and remember, this person has difficulty getting out of bed right now. And then this person also has to pay bills, go to work, find new work if they're out of a job. It's like there's just a lot going on with them, and they're finding it difficult to literally do anything. And all of that burden is just their biggest focus. Not even priority, because they don't want to prioritize it. They have to, right? It's like they're in survival mode. They're having to prioritize these things. They're having to fixate and focus on everything that's being thrown at them, all of these, decisions that they need to make, as hard as it is. So that's where their sole focus is right now, And so if you are kind of sitting there staring at your phone and you're like, why won't they talk to me? It's so much deeper than that. You need to realize that it's not because they don't like you, because they're showing up as the Page of Cups, right? There is emotion there. They do deeply care for you. They're just going through it, okay? They need a minute to sort their life out. And it's almost like they don't want to drag you into their drama, their problems, their issues. But this is also an energy of them not wanting you to see them like this, because they're showing up as the Emperor. So this is them in their full, masculine energy, right? That's them at their best, is the Emperor. It's having control over everything, their emotions, their money, their life, right? They are a very powerful person. They're a very confident, capable person when they're at their best. And you could have seen them when they were at their best. And if you didn't, they were definitely pretending to show up like that, to show you the energy that they could provide to you, right? But they're not that right now. They're not that right now. They're not the Emperor. They're not the Emperor. They're the Hanged Man and the Four of Swords, right? They're stuck in place, avoiding questions of what they're doing with their future, their feelings towards you. They're questioning all of it. They're overly processing their emotions to the point where they're paralyzed by making a single decision, They don't want to see you like that, but because they know that the type of energy they can be in, right? This Emperor energy, the type of energy that they can show up as. And they don't want you to see them as anything less than that. Okay? They're trying to get back to this Emperor energy, but they need a second, okay? Rome wasn't built overnight. They need a hot second. But they do. They have feelings for you. Once they've figured this out, they're headed to you. They are a very confident, passionate person who can provide and wants to provide. Definitely wants to provide when they have the ability to do so. Once they get their energy back, their stride back, their confidence back, their money right, their housing situation right, it's like yes, this is this is the person who could not be in a relationship unless they had everything figured out on their end. I forgot what the phrase is. It's like the to-do list person, right? I've heard this phrase before where this is somebody who has to have everything in order before they can be with somebody. They would find it extremely uncomfortable to be with somebody if they weren't able to provide emotionally, financially, energetically. Like they would feel like a complete burden if they showed up for somebody in this kind of an energy, especially with you. They don't want to show up for you in this energy. They want to show up for you as the emperor. You know, they want to show up for you as this confident masculine who wants to take care of you and take you out and can afford to do so and can make plans for the future and has something to bring to the table, you know? Even if you're sitting on the other end of your phone and you're like, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care what job you have, I just want to spend time with you. That could be your energy, and that's why maybe this no contact could be even more frustrating and difficult, because you are genuinely sitting there like, I don't care what you have, I just want to be there for you and spend time with you. And then you don't fully realize that your person is just not able to accept that at the moment. They can't accept that. They can't show up for you like this. Period. Literally, like that's them on their therapist couch. They can't do it right now. The mental fatigue, the physical fatigue, the paralysis by analysis, not being able to get out of bed, being stuck and stagnant, but trying to be strong, but not being able to make the decisions to be able to get better, find solutions to their problems. You know, it's all, the world is too loud and they're blocking everything out, not just you. So if you're taking this very personally, this no contact, this ghosting, whatever this is, because I'm feeling you as like taking this very personally. You're like, okay, they hate me, they don't like me, they want nothing to do with me. That's not true. Okay, that's not true at all. The world is just too loud for them right now, and they need a moment. They need a second. Okay, more than a second. Like they, you know, because they can't show up for you like this. They just can't. And so your advice right now, unfortunately, I'm sorry, is to just focus on yourself right now. Because this person, even if you did try to reach out to them, try to pursue them, try to explain to them that you don't need anything more than them, and that them struggling would never be a turnoff. You know, even if you tried to like reach out and say that to them, they would not accept that. They would not be able to accept that because they know how much more you deserve, right? They see you as somebody who is extremely intelligent, okay? And that could be the issue too, because mentally they're not there right now. Mentally they're not there right now, and they want to be able to show up for you as the best version of themselves. And they're just seeing you as this warm, welcoming person, and it's like they know that if they showed up at your doorstep, that you would be there welcoming them with open arms. They know that, and that's also part of the problem, is they wish that they could do that for you. It's hard to accept what you're not able to give, right? And this person just needs a moment to sort out their issues and their problems. They need a minute to get back to the best version of themselves. They're trying. They're trying. They will get there. It shows them as getting there. They need a minute to rest. They need a minute to rest and to process their emotions. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys.